the dynamic companies that move the world is Hexagon's business. We're embedded in the innovation that shapes the future. From aerospace and automotive, construction and energy, to electronics and medical. The things that people love most in their lives are built by Hexagon products and technology. And we're driving the global shift to a more sustainable way of making them. But we're not doing it alone. Collaboration is at the heart of progress and drives everything we do. So, we're creating an open innovation platform, a way to connect startups looking to scale with Hexagon and our customer base of world-class companies. Offering insight and intelligence around innovations needed by global firms now, and access to our technology from software and hardware to AI. Hexagon is combining resources and expertise to turn real-world problems into transformative solutions, delivering a new environment to road test ideas with a pipeline of customers ready to embrace them. Sixth Sense is an open innovation platform shaping the future, imagining and enabling a world we can't see yet. With it, we can rethink and reinvent how we design, engineer, and build for a better tomorrow, giving us a sixth sense about what comes next.
Well, hello and welcome to you from wherever in the world you are joining us today to this very special pitching event, the second edition of the Sixth Sense Selection Day. We're joined by an incredible group of companies, panel of judges, and an invited audience from around the world. Our mission is to select the next cohort of startups to join the Sixth Sense team, the open innovation platform from Hexagon Manufacturing Intelligence. I'm Michael Heyman. I'm co-founder of the campaigns firm Seven Hills, and I host the Changemakers podcast. I'm also honorary professor of the Purpose Economy at the University of London, and I co-authored Mission, How the Best in Business Break Through. And with so few shopping days till Christmas, get out there and read it. So anyway, why are we here? Sixth Sense is the open innovation platform from Hexagon Manufacturing Intelligence, where ambitious scaling startups can connect with world-class companies to solve some of humanity's biggest challenges. Sixth Sense is an inspiring and disruptive approach to the traditional accelerator, designed as an exchange of real and genuine value between Hexagon and the startups, providing more than just theoretical training. Our first cohort gained tailored insights on how to hone their offering for greater commercial success using Hexagon's deep market insight, while Hexagon aims to apply learnings from the startup's agility and fresh approach to innovation. So it's very much a win-win. Two winners were chosen from cohort 1, Rico and Smart Parts, with a runner-up Primo also receiving ongoing support from Hexagon. Today, you're going to hear from 12 incredible companies based in 6 countries working to realize that future. Each is developing manufacturing solutions in visualization and digital reality and intelligence and automation. More specifically, digital twin innovations, metaverse factory design, predictive and prescriptive intelligence, and autonomous and sustainable manufacturing operations. These themes build on Hexagon's commitment to accelerate innovation and drive the global shift to a new sustainable way of operating. Our startups today were chosen from a list of over 100 applicants. So they've done incredibly well to get this far. So congratulations to you all. Each submitted a 3-minute pitch video, which has been available on the Sixth Sense platform for the last week. And you can actually see those today. Hopefully you've had a chance to watch and put in your vote. But if not, today is the opportunity to hear more about why you should. All of our companies will have 90 seconds to summarize their pitching video to our panel of judges from Hexagon Manufacturing's Intelligence Division's senior leadership team, who are then going to have 3 minutes to put their questions forward. So 90 seconds to pitch, 3 minutes Q&A. Later, our judges will choose the top businesses going through to join the Sixth Sense cohort. We're going to do all of that in 90 minutes. And we're thrilled to be joined by those judges now. Stephen Graham is Executive Vice President and General Manager of Nexus. Daniela Handel is General Manager of Volume Graphics. Dheeraj Mohan is Portfolio Director for the Innovation Hub and Ventures. Karolina Jepivaskamal-Liska is Vice President and of Product Lines with the Metrology Devices Business Unit. Jason Walker is a VP and General Manufacturing Practice Lead, and Arno Zinker is the Senior Vice President of Software Engineering. Let's give our audience a big wave, guys. Welcome and good to see you. Let's give our audience a nice big wave there from our judges. We want them to know you're going to be friendly today and sort of like be friendly judges with friendly questions. Welcome to you all. As well as our judges, our entrepreneurs are going to be pitching to you. You'll have the opportunity to vote on which companies have impressed you, with the final company of the cohort selected from your votes. The voting will open throughout the event, and you can vote by clicking on the live poll tab to the left-hand side of this screen. Now, should you need a reminder of any of the pitching companies, there is a page with further information on the pitching companies. Access this by clicking on the Meet the Cohort tab on the navigation bar on the left-hand side of your screen. Are you all with me? Hope you are. Now, because we need you also to spread the word, so make sure you do share your experience of today on social media, tagging and retweeting 6 Cents. The Twitter handle is @mi_6_cents. And you can follow follow 6 Cents on LinkedIn also. Now, before we hear from our first aspiring cohort members, I'd like to welcome Parth Joshi, who is the Chief Product Officer and Chief Technology Officer of Hexagon Manufacturing Intelligence, to tell us a bit more about why we're here. And we'll then hear from Milan, Kosich, who is the head of 6 Cents at Hexagon, to introduce how the pitching will work. Parth, welcome, and over to you.
Hello, good morning and good afternoon to everyone. Thanks for joining our second selection day for 6 Cents. This is really the moment we're going to choose the next cohort of exciting startups to take with us and join us on our open innovation platform. Really hope that you've enjoyed the videos you've seen so far that we've posted, and a big congratulations to all of our shortlisted companies for making it this far. Since we started 6 Cents earlier in the year, we've been on a pretty amazing journey, kicking off our first challenge areas in Cohort 1, focused on data and artificial intelligence. At that cohort, we had over 100 applications. We couldn't take them all, but we ended up having 7 startups join us for a 10-week intensive scaling program, all of whom we still have very strong relationships with throughout the year. This next challenge today is focused on visualization and digital reality, as well as intelligence and automation focused on manufacturing. We're super excited to see what comes out of this cohort. In digital reality, we can replicate the real world digitally, saving customers time and money and testing outcomes before you actually go do the work. We can then use artificial intelligence to optimize items in the manufacturing process. This really helps us create a digital replica of the things we want to improve in a less costly way and much more sustainable. These are some of the exciting innovations that are happening within the space, and it's really been an exciting pleasure to get to know all of the shortlisted companies so far. Really excited to see what pitches come out and excited to see how the voting comes out. 6 Cents overall for us is a very important part of our business. Not only does it give us the opportunity to support the next generation of innovators and startups, it really helps us share our expertise and give them a seat at our table to help our customers out and hear some fresh thinking that we haven't looked at. We're really excited today, and I'm looking forward to meet the cohort members as we go through our second challenge and see how they attack this opportunity that we've put in front of them. A big thank you to all of our judges that we just saw in the video. And I have no doubt that they'll have some tough decisions to make. Better them than me to make these decisions. And I'm really excited to enjoy the next part of this event and see all of our pitches. Good luck to everyone, and take full advantage of your opportunity today. I'll hand it off to Milan to get us started.
Hi, everybody. Part of the 6 Cents is you get this fancy sweatshirt at some point. So if you get selected, something to look forward to. Just a brief summary of what's going to happen in the next hour or so, which is the potential cohorts will come in. The 12 companies will do their 90-second pitch. They'll tell us a little bit more about, kind of give us a summary what they do and a little bit more about their business. And then the 2 judges out of 6 will ask some of the questions. and there will be roughly a 3-4 minute section, and then we'll just move on from there on. We'll take a break about halfway through. So the first 6 companies that do a pitch, there'll be a little break in between. You get to see me again talk about some additional stuff about 6 Sense. And then we'll do the second half. When we finish, there'll be a short 10-minute break at the end for us to basically meet with the judges and make sure that we make all the right choices. And then we'll come back at the end, and I will announce the 8 companies that we have selected for Cohort. So that's briefly what's going to happen over the next hour and a half. It's going to be pretty dynamic and pretty fast, so make sure you stay on and stay engaged. If you have any comments, other things, you can select them and let us know about it, and keep voting, because one of these companies gets your vote. So that's about for me. Now back to Michael.
Milan and Pav, thank you very much indeed, and thanks for actually teeing up the afternoon, because I know that we've got some very, very excited companies that are looking forward to meeting you, to pitching their ideas. And as Milan has just said there, keep on voting, because actually it makes all the difference this afternoon. And having seen the first cohort companies that have gone through have had such incredible life-changing opportunities that have come out of joining the 6 Sense cohort. So these companies are going to go through something exceptional and outstanding, and they need your support today. So there's always a first time for everything, and we have our first pitch for this afternoon. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Arundo Analytics. It delivers purpose-built, ready-made products that identify crucial data patterns, enabling organizations to optimize their operations. To tell us more, we're joined by Martin Lundqvist, who is the CEO. Martin, welcome. You have 90 seconds to pitch your business to us, and I'll then be handing over to Daniela and Jason as the judges who'll be asking you your questions.
Thank you so very much. So hi, I'm Martin Lundqvist. I'm the CEO of Arundo Analytics. Every year, more than $50 billion and 20 exajoules of energy are wasted due to industrial equipment running suboptimally. Arundo's vision is to make industrial operations more sustainable, and our mission is to build software products that provide actionable insights to combine real-time data with data science and modern software. 2 years ago, we released Marathon to the market. Marathon connects with industrial equipment and runs analytics on that data 24/7. The analytics are carefully picked to support use cases identified by our customers. The power of Marathon lies in its early warning notifications of anomalous behavior, and Marathon gives busy operators a prescriptive set of instructions for how to investigate recurring problems. Besides, it offers a collaboration platform for troubleshooting equipment issues. As a result, our customers are able to reduce equipment downtime, equipment lifecycle cost, and energy consumption. But don't take my word for it. Since the launch, we're seeing more than 150% growth in our annual recurring revenues with 0 churn. Our customers see this as a tool for quickly scaling best practices across their sites, and they're reporting back measurable savings, such as 10% of annual R&M spend. So I look forward to the opportunity provided by 6 Sense to meet more organizations and help them run their equipment more sustainably. Thank you so much.
Well done, Martin. Smoothly done, if I may say. 1 second remaining on the clock. I mean, that's worthy of a James Bond movie if ever I've seen one. Now, Daniela and Jason,
thank you so much.
We'll be over to you to see what you thought of our first pitch there from Martin and Arundo Analytics. The floor is yours.
Oh, Danny, we can't hear you, I don't think. So perhaps I'll start with the first question.
Okay.
Oh, now we can.
Oh, now we can. Okay. Apparently it took a second. I was just complimenting Martin on being really just in time. Martin, in your video pitch, you said something like your solution can start right now. You, as a customer, you can just kick it off. So starting as one thing, but ending a different question maybe. Is there ever a done state, or how does it relate with kicking it off to have a kind of minimal viable product versus the solution that just needs a bit maintenance?
So the journey never really does end, I believe, because at the end of the day, what we want to do is to provide a tool that helps people go on a data-driven journey towards better industrial operations. So of course, in the beginning, you will pick the equipment that is most critical to you. You will pick the use cases that are most critical to that equipment. Over time, you add more equipment to that portfolio of use cases, and you look at more and more advanced use cases. I don't think the journey is ever done. And I think that similar to other efficiency initiatives that have been run historically, this is something that we need to continue as well. And we're very happy to offer one part of that equation, which is this software tool.
Thanks, Martin. I think building on that question from Danny, do you see Marathon as being particularly applicable to the manufacturing sector? And how much customization is required to suit, a manufacturer's requirements in order to contextualize that data coming from their assets and provide them insights that are usable and are going to benefit their organization?
Thank you. Great question. I believe manufacturing space is very well suited because what Marathon is particularly good at doing is at scaling out analytics across similar types of equipment very quickly. So typically a manufacturer will have a footprint of different sites manufacturing similar parts or doing similar types of manufacturing at scale. So once we have gotten to know the first manufacturing site really well, we can then scale that out fairly quickly. And that also kind of segues to your second question. We believe in contextualizing the data, which is strictly required for running the analytics in order to avoid the pitfall of never-ending plumbing and data laking. So once we've understood what is required in terms of data pipelining and contextualization for the first factory and its most critical equipment, the scaling out to other factories with similar equipment becomes much easier and becomes an effort of using templates that we define under the first instance.
Great. So would you say this is more applicable to enterprise level organizations with multiple sites, or could it be scaled to the small to medium sized manufacturers as well?
We love the unloved industries, so we believe that the size of your outfit is not really the determining factor, but it is how important it is to you that equipment runs without downtime.
Great, thank
you guys, and I'm loving your pitch there, Martin. The unloved industries, and that'll give our judges something to think about. Great first pitch. Thank you to you and to our judges. I'm also informed that the voting is now switched on, so you are able to cast your vote. Remember, you only get one vote though, so you might want, unless, who knows, Martin, you might have done such a good job with that first pitch, you might have got a flood of votes already. But if you want to listen right the way through, make sure that you use your vote to full effect. Right, we're going to be moving on now to our second pitch. 3 Your Mind. It's an on-demand manufacturing software that empowers companies to identify and produce parts when needed. OEMs, operating companies, and contract manufacturers can create digital inventories of qualified parts to reduce costs, shorten production lead times, and secure more efficient and agile operations. To tell us more, it's a great pleasure to welcome its Managing Director, Alexandra Donadieu-Duray, who's going to have 90 seconds to tell us all about 3 Your Mind. Alexandra, welcome.
Thank you very much. I will start with a harsh assessment. Traditional spare parts supply chain models are unsustainable economically and also in terms of environment. Companies are losing millions per hours because of downtime and due to missing spare parts especially. And we produce more than we should produce actually because we stock for this purpose. So that's the harsh statement. Now, what if we could digitize these stocks, the parts, and materialize on demand? Today, 80% of industrial companies choose on-demand manufacturing, 3D printing, and CNC to solve that issue. This market represents the future of manufacturing, and we estimate that over 8% of the stock keeping unit will be digitized and produced on demand within the next 10 years. But there is still some critical challenges for the future of on-demand manufacturing. One, the skill gap, which is still very important. 2, the very high cost of qualification and also the sign-off of qualification engineer and the lack of data continuity. 3 Your Mind provides the most comprehensive cloud-based software platform that enable adoption and operations of on-demand manufacturing workflows. Our platform contains all the modules to get started, to qualify, and then connect to the machines. And we have more than 60 industrial customers in critical industry that use us today.
Well done. Well done, Alexander. I mean, that's the second pitch where you've had such an economy of the use of time. We had 0 seconds. I mean, I'm used to come on with great dramatic appeal to sort of say your time is up, but not today. Let's hear how you get on with our judges. Arno and Dheeraj are waiting to speak with you.
Absolutely. Thanks for this awesome pitch. I mean, you have really, you know, a very ambitious goal, really kind of disrupting to some extent additive manufacturing, taking a platform approach. Usually, you are part of a bigger system, so being able to play well with the rest, PLM systems, for example, is crucial. So how do you achieve the objective? On one hand, playing well with existing systems, meeting customers where they are, and at the same time, in the end, delivering a very disruptive end-to-end solution to your customers.
It's a great question. It's a great point. We believe that actually interoperability is key here, meaning that we have to have an open API strategy, which we've been deploying since already like 5 years with key industrial customers. Most of our customers are big enterprises and they already have their ERP, their PLM systems, and they use our software in production. That means that we need to have teams and technology dedicated to developing these APIs and understanding what are the most common data models to our customers. Luckily, we've been doing that since a while, and it works pretty well. But integration is the key indeed.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks for the answer. A quick question from me. Under your agile PLM, right? Your use case screening is pretty fundamental to how your system works. So how is it done, and why is it accurate?
So I would say use case screening is very important. It's not the only element, because you cannot stop just at use case screening. It's also important then to be able to connect to suppliers and get through the validation process. But the use case screening is made in 2 steps. One, collection of data. We do this we can collect 3D file data, also the metadata, which usually are the bill of material that we collect, for example, from the existing ERPs. We can do it massively, so we can import, for example, 10,000 file at once and do the screening through that. The algorithm that we have are based on our knowledge of the technologies of additive manufacturing. We work directly with the machine OEM to work this algorithm based on 3 intelligence base. One is design, second is technology, so the print technology or CNC technology, and then third is the material technology. And we have algorithms that will then give indication on the most, not only say what could be printed, but what should be printed. So gives indication in terms of lead time reduction, economic advantages, and of course, sustainability as well, carbon reduction.
Thank you very much, Alexandra. Thank you to our judges, and thank you for sharing the story of 3Yourmind. Absolutely brilliant second pitch. And we're going to keep on moving because our third startup is Castor, an Israel-based software company that enables the optimization of manufacturing and increased profitability by using industrial 3D printing. Castor solves the challenge of identifying where, when, and how it's beneficial to use 3D printing by automatically analyzing each part within an existing product design. Omar Blayarim is the CEO and co-founder. He's going to tell us a little bit more about it. Omar, welcome to 6 Sense.
Hi, everyone. Thanks again for the time and the opportunity. So I'm Omar. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Castor, and we identify suitable parts for additive manufacturing with an automatic and intelligent software. It's actually a decision support system that enables manufacturers like John Deere and Danfoss and Lockheed Martin and Siemens that we see here as paying customers to decide whether to prefer additive over traditional manufacturing methods. We do that by analyzing CAD files and 2D drawings, but we do that in scale, which means companies are usually using Castor as a screening tool to upload the whole dashboard of a car, the whole inventory list of spare parts, the whole sub-assembly of a machine they want to optimize, and within seconds we identify those interesting parts that can be compared to additive, and that's being done based on material analysis, geometry analysis, cost break-even point analysis versus traditional manufacturing, lead time analysis, and eventually stress analysis to determine the likelihood to failure of a part. Castor is being used today by the largest players in our industry like Xerox and Evonik and Materialize and Siemens Teamcenter. And this is part of the value proposition we want to achieve with Hexagon in this accelerator program. So if you want to learn more or even hear about the existing funding stage we're at, we would love to talk to you after the pitch. Thanks.
Omar, thank you very much indeed for that pitch. Great pitch. First use of video. We're going to find out whether that was enough to impress our judges. Carolina and Stephen, welcome, and over to you.
Very interesting concept and a very nice product indeed. I'm very much curious, how do you see it growing? I mean, if we talk about engineering, and I have a background of material science to a certain extent, materials change, and every day you have new set of materials. How do you account for, let's say, is it a growing platform?
Thanks for the question. I think in the previous sections, there was a question about connectivity to PLM, ERP, PDM, and those kind of systems where we are connected to them as well. And we know how to pull information from those systems and recommend new recommendations every time there is a new information to be achieved. For example, one of the key advantages is that we recommend DFAM, design changes on the parts themselves. So we have a mechanism to combine multiple parts into one, for example, and as a whole part, as a single part, maybe there is a new opportunity to use additive. For sure, if there is a new material out there in the market that can address the need of the combined part. So shortly, we are updating our database according to what's out there in the market, and we are trying to identify the best match material to that in additive using our algorithm.
Sounds good. Thanks, Omar, for the pitch. Do you so your software is identifying parts for 3D printing? Do you then see an opportunity to connect your customers to companies that can do the 3D printing for them? And do you have a business model in that direction?
We do have an option to connect the user to an end-to-end solution, to a service bureau that can provide a part. It's not the core of what we do. We're not a marketplace in that perspective. We're very focusing on that stage of what parts make sense. For example, we're connected to other workflow companies that can help you execute an actual print. We think this is where the world is at. It's in the stages of identifying what parts make sense to use additive rather than those 1-2% parts that are actually being sent to print. I would say that one of the key advantages in the tool is that you can get a cost estimation of what would it cost you to manufacture the part in-house if you had a printer, and you can compare that to a quote you get from a service bureau as a price estimation. Then you have a negotiation tool to say, all right, there is a difference between the cost out there and what I can do in-house, and take better decisions on outsource versus in-house manufacturing in a lot of cases, if that makes sense for you.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you very much to our judges. Thank you, Omar. Thank you for sharing the story of Castor. Absolutely brilliant. And that's our first 3 companies that have now completed their pitches. And a reminder that you can continue voting for your favorites using the polling tab. Now, have you ever thought about this? How do you make manufacturing sexy again? Well, you may not have spent a lot of time thinking about it, but it certainly is the idea of our next pitching company, Gemineers, because that's their vision, to make manufacturing sexy again. As pioneers in the field of digital twins, Gemineers aims to revolutionize the user experience in manufacturing. With its software platform for data-driven quality evaluation, it creates an exact digital image of the manufactured part. To tell us more about their ambitions, please welcome co-founder and managing director, Vincent Geretz. Vincent, welcome.
Hello, my name is Vincent and I'm one of the founders of Gemineers. We as Gemineers providing digital twin technology for the shop floor to enable a more predictive and autonomous manufacturing. But what do we mean by a digital twin? From our point of view, it's an exact virtual representation of the manufactured part with all its defects and deviations. And how do we generate such a digital twin? First of all, we are acquiring machine and sensor data during the manufacturing process from common controls and machine tools. Second, our digital twin core translate this raw data then into an exact virtual representation of the manufactured part by using our developed technology core. And third, we are providing then the digital twin information into the customer-specific infrastructure to enable various business cases. But how can customers turn the digital twin into value? For instance, by speeding up their production through 100% traceability and process optimization, or by reducing conventional quality inspection efforts based on predictive quality, or even by evaluating the CO2 footprint towards a green production. As you can see and imagine, there are plenty of business cases more. You can use this or digital twin in your production to optimize and to come to a more predictive and autonomous manufacturing in the future and make manufacturing sexy again. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Vincent. Well, let's hear whether that was the pitch that got the attention of Arno and Diraj, our judges who are going to question you just now.
Vincent, I mean, digital twin certainly is a hot topic, absolutely. And there's a need for automating things, understanding things better. Who specifically is your customer? And how will the value of your digital twin solution be delivered to this customer?
Our customers are companies out of the metalworking industry. So companies who are mainly dealing with milling, turning, drilling, so more conventional manufacturing technologies. And they can use our software platform in their production and automatically process all the data which are acquired by our platform and get of each of their parts which are manufactured in their plants a digital image, the digital twin of a part, and then they can decide by themselves what kind of benefit they would like to achieve. For instance, the reducing of conventional measurement inspection efforts, just reporting or monitoring their whole production from part to part. So to get like 100% traceability of their whole production.
So you're selling the tech, you don't sell an experience. It's not about a specific persona. You target enterprises, and the business model is going to be driven by enterprise integrations, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, it's not our case to provide it as a service. We would like to enable our customers, the companies, the metalworking industry, to use our platform to get their own digital twins. Not by doing. They should do it by themselves.
Thank you.
Okay. And I think what's fundamental to your solution is this automated digital twinning. How do you account for for the milling and the turning process? There'll be different manufacturers of the milling machines, as well as different kinds of materials that you would mill on. How does your solution account for that? How is it done automatically?
On the one hand, of course, there are plenty of machine tool manufacturers, but there are just like a couple of controls which are relevant in the market. And for us, it's not interesting to connect to a certain machine tool. It's more interesting to connect to the control, because we are acquiring data during the manufacturing process based on the control of the machine tool. So data which are already existing there, and there we have a high flexibility to connect to different controls on the one hand, and automatically, there are like various tools and materials, and we put a lot of effort in the past from our research background into that to create very, very flexible technology models to cover more or less from aerospace industry to tool and die making, all different materials to create a digital twin.
Thank you very much to our judges. Great questions. And to Vincent for telling us more about the story of Gemineers. Now we move on, because we'll be hearing from JITbase, which helps CNC operators to manage more machines at the same time with maximum efficiency, thanks to a dynamic scheduling system fed by live machine data. To share its story, please welcome its CEO, Frederick Scherer. Frederick, welcome to Sixth Sense.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Frederick. I'm the CEO of JITbase. So at JITbase, we collect data from CNC machines, and we use them to make the operator more efficient and to manage more machines at the same time. We learn from the CNC program so that we know exactly when the operator is required, so that he's more proactive and he manages more machines. So we do direct sales in the US and in Canada. We got 10 clients for 220K of potential annual recurring revenue. Our customers are mostly in the aerospace industry, and we also develop our network in North America and in Europe. We have an active project with NC Simul. So the goal is really to help. Currently, with the system, we based it on historical data to learn from the CNC program. With NC Simul, we can get the cycle times by toolpath and know the MOO. So it would help to create the digital twin of the CNC program into JIT-based and smoother the implementation. So regarding the stage, we raised the seed round last year. We're really in a growth mode. The next step is to activate the Hexagon partnership, especially with NC Simul, to help with the implementation thanks to the simulation of the program, and also use the customer base in order to acquire 80 customers within the next 15 months for $1 million of annual recurring revenue.
That's it, Frederick. Unfortunately, we're going to have to stop you there. Everybody gets down to zero, so we're going to have to move on to your questions from Daniela and Jason. But thank you so much for the pitch.
Thank you, Frederick. I'm going to ask the first question, and really it's, do you feel that manufacturers are ready for using OPS on the shop floor? And what do you see as your biggest barrier to scaling this technology across the manufacturing environment?
So one of the biggest barriers is really in the implementation process, because it can happen to have resistance of chance from the operators on the shop floor. How we address that is really to communicate that it's a tool to help them and not to to be like Big Brother. So if they have to manage 3 machines at the same time, if they do it without a tool, it's going to be really difficult. If they do it with OPS, they are just more proactive, less stressed, and it's easier.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Basically, your solution assists managers, right? How is this more of a management assistant or an operational assistant?
I'm not sure to understand the question. Can you?
So the technology assisting the operators on the shop floor, is there a use case for the management of the shop floor as well?
Correct. So it's really for the planning, we help with the operator allocation, because you can simulate and see if it's better to put one operator on 2, 3, 4 machines. So it's really for management. And then it helps on the shop floor, because the operator can be, get the result to know, okay, I have to go on this machine in 5 minutes, on this one in 10 minutes. So it helps at both level, management and on the shop floor.
Great. Would you see that there's a certain customer segment that you're going after, as in the customer size? Is it the small to medium sized manufacturers, is it the larger enterprises, or does it not matter how many machines, how many operators you have on the shop floor?
So usually it's at least 10 machines. If it's too small shop, it's too much of optimization. So the sweet spot is between 20 and 50 machines and up. So medium and large shops. Aerospace is a really good vertical. The reason is that the volume are not too large. So every day is different. The operator can't get a routine to do always the same thing. So this is where OPS is really relevant, because he can follow what he has to do thanks to the system.
Great. I'm not sure we have enough time for one more question, but Danny, hopefully that clarified your question.
Yeah, it did.
Well, thank you very much, judges. And thank you there for Frederick and the story of JIT-based. Really good pitch. And in fact, we're now speeding along to almost halfway there, because our final pitch for this first half comes from Oculavis, which offers its software as a service solution, Oculavis Share, for augmented reality video customer support. It claims to reduce mean time to repair by up to 50%, annual field service costs by up to 20%, and indeed CO2 emissions due to less travel. With its headquarters in Aachen, Germany, please welcome its co-founder and managing director, Dr. Markus Gross-Buchmann. Marcus, welcome to 6 Sense.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Oculavis enables technical knowledge to travel and not the technicians with our software platform Share. But what we are doing, we integrate augmented reality video support to customer service processes and their systems to enable remote first strategies. You see a typical service situation here on the slide. A help desk person is helping an engineer on site to identify or to solve an issue. They started their call initiated by the help desk engineer, typically from their CRM system we integrate to. The help desk engineer, as you can see, has advanced augmented reality annotation features in the call, and he can or she can also document the whole situation for the on-site. One example for a client who's using is the company Leaper, you might know. They have built, in addition, a business model on top of our solution and sell the remote support to their clients. The clients even have a 24/7 access to the experts, and via our white-labeled application, they can also retrieve additional technical information. This reduces travel costs, mean time to repair, remote fix rates, and annual field service costs. Leaper is just one out of 200 examples. As you can see from the slides, we are about 65 employees, have won 26 awards in the past 5.5 years, and now we are looking forward to working with you. Thank you.
Marcus, thank you very much. Smoothly done. All your seconds used up. You're going to be joined by our judges, Carolina and Stephen, who are going to ask you a few questions.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Marcus. An interesting pitch. So I think, if I've understood correctly, what really sets apart your platform from just a simple video conferencing platform like Teams or Zoom is integration into the kind of broader workflow around support. How complex is that integration? Do you find that you have to get closely involved with customers to do the integration and setup, or can they do it themselves?
With the very first clients we did the integration, we developed our standardized REST API, so the interface on our side. So basically with any system, you can integrate to our system. So that's quite easy. Anyhow, for some standard systems like Salesforce or SAP, we have or we will develop standardized connectors, so to make it really plug and play running.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
All right, very interesting solution, especially that I come from the metrology devices, so the only hardware business unit within the manufacturing intelligence. I wanted to ask you, so based on you have a significant base of the customers, significant experience already, what would be the next big thing or the next big value added that you consider to enhance or move your platform towards?
Yes, we can see that there is a demand for real service networks out there in the market, so that it's not only the single machine tool manufacturer, but they typically have resellers as well. And the next development steps we are having is that our software platform will not simply solve the problem from the one company, but from a service network. And this we are preparing at the moment on our roadmap with several features, connection channels, and a system to handle rights, roles, and permissions in such a network.
All right, thank you.
Sounds good. Maybe it's time for one last quick question. I think, as I understand, Oculavis Share is it always white labeled, or are you able to expose your identity in front of customers and in front of their customers?
Yeah, especially our bigger clients, they would like to have a white labeled application. They say my machine, so my app. So therefore we have the white labeled application. For smaller ones, small or mid manufacturers of machine tools, we also have the basic Oculavis Share software. You can also see, for example, in the app stores, and there we have a non-white labeled ones. But the bigger ones are also willing to pay for their logo, and so that's of course important for us as well.
Perfect.
Marcus, thank you very much. Thank you to Carolina and Stephen. I mean, I tell you what, the first half has served notice on the second half in terms of our first 6 pitches have really set a roaring pace and given lots for our next 6 companies to live up to. So well done. Now, in case you missed any of those pitches, or if you want a sneak peek at the companies joining us over the next second half of that, the next 6 companies, you can find an overview of each pitching company in the Meet the Cohort tab on the left-hand side of your screen. Well, we're going to be back for those 6 pitches soon. But first up, it's a great pleasure to welcome back Milan Kosich, the head of 6th Sense at Hexagon. He's going to tell us a little bit more about how 6th Sense aims to drive innovation and growth. But before I do that, Milan, I mean, you must be thrilled with this set of pitches so far. Absolutely wonderful.
I would never be able to finish in 3 minutes, but I'm very appreciative of the fact that they can summarize what they want to do in 3 minutes. So far so good. Much different than our first time around. It's much more dynamic and much faster paced. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what the final 6 have to say for themselves very shortly. But I think you're going to tell us a little bit more about how 6th Sense aims to drive innovation and growth.
Yes. Thank you, Michael. So why we're doing all this, I think Parth kicked us off on this journey and told us a bigger picture of where we're trying to do. But in a nutshell, 6th Sense is there to basically build a speed dating program between Hexagon and startups in a bigger scheme of things. The idea here is to really look for inspiration, look to how to accelerate not only startups, but how to accelerate ourselves, and to essentially deliver things that we need to deliver faster to our customers, or do things that we otherwise would not be able to necessarily do. So the idea here is always about trying to accelerate innovation on both ends of the spectrum. The other piece, which we kind of discovered in our research as we were trying to kick off 6th Sense, is this idea that the way what we have is one thing that we're really, really good at is selling products to customers. That's the gist of what we do and how do we get to places and how do we keep this business going every year. And that also means that we have a global reach. We know customers just about everywhere. Just about anybody who makes anything is a customer of Hexagon's, and especially manufacturing intelligence. And I think one attraction is to also provide those connections in order to get things to move faster, get access to global distribution, get people closer to the actual solutions for the customers, and to speed up that particular development. I will maybe pivot a little bit and just get a little bit of a preview for both people who are listening in and for the 8 that will be chosen as to what will happen over the next 10 weeks. So how does this actually work when you come into the program, and what do we actually do? Starting next week, we'll start essentially weekly meetings, trying to assess and evaluate technologies that the 8 startups bring. Associate and connect them to the champions between the business units and the businesses themselves to see where the fit are, and then look for prototypes and build ideas as to where this could go as we kind of complete our journey. Halfway through the journey, we'll also pivot towards the obvious piece, which is how do you guys make money and how we can help you make more money, and then build on that towards the culmination on February 1st, which is our big demo event, where it's live in person. We invite many, many people to it. And the idea there is to pitch us the culmination of this 10-week journey so that we can show what the opportunities exist between the startup and Hexagon, or a startup and a potential customer. So this is why we do this. The idea is to accelerate ourselves and to accelerate startups, and to get to a better place faster, and to have the resolution as to where the future goes in a record time, and hopefully build some interesting and cool products that our customers will really, really appreciate. And that's about, I think, the gist of what 6th Sense does and what's our purpose. So Michael, I'll probably just hand it over back to you.
Thank you very much, Milan. Great summary there, and indeed a good outline of the opportunity ahead for that live pitching event, which is truly a very, very special moment. Well, it's time to return to our pitches, and just a brief reminder that you can vote for your favorite, and the company with the most of your votes is going to join the judges' top 5 choices in the next 6th Sense cohort. Our first pitch of this half comes from Teratonics, a French startup that asks us to see through the matter in an ultra-fast and precise way. It aims to help the manufacturing industry at large to cut costs and optimize manufacturing processes by reducing the use of raw materials, energy, and time. To start off round two of our pitches, please welcome its president and CEO, Uli Schmid-Hammer. Uli, welcome to Sixth Sense.
Thanks a lot. I'm Uli Schmid-Hammer, CEO of Teratonics. Teratonics reveal the invisible, and this in a very fast way, also on large parts. You can see here an example, the direct control of injection molded plastic parts in cycle time. A world first. Defects as air bubbles can be detected, dimensions including wall thickness can be verified. This immediate feedback allows to avoid the production of bad parts based on plastic and energy. Why can we propose this game-changing technology? First, because we use a new frequency range for non-destructive testing, the terahertz. Second, because we implemented an internationally patented approach that is a breakthrough in speed and stability for terahertz. Today, based on the industrial demand, we focus on the control of plastics, composites, assemblies, and coatings. These are in big part lightweight materials used in different sectors like transportation and energy to reduce the carbon footprint. They are a driver for the ongoing strong growth of the non-destructive testing market with a volume of 17 billion in 21. What we offer to this market is lab services, on-site inspection, sale of equipment via distributors and integrators for worldwide coverage. Today we have more than 25 paying clients and projects with key partners in target sectors. We multiplied our turnover by 10 in the last exercise, and we believe that we could do similar leaps in growth thanks to Sixth Sense and Hexagon. Thanks a lot.
Well done. Excellent pitch to get us starting with there, Uli. Now we're going to welcome Arno and Dheeraj, who are going to ask you a few questions.
Exciting pitch indeed, and the technology is really extremely interesting, and I think also certainly differentiating. I'd love to understand how your customers expect to use the technology, and how again the value is going to get delivered to your customers. Is that you mainly focus on technology sales or also on delivering solutions around the technology?
So perhaps there are several questions in your point. The value added depends strongly on the application. Yeah? For example, if we do the control of coatings for the automotive or the other sectors, yeah, with a very immediate feedback, even on multi-layer coatings, the thickness of each layer can be optimized. So in this case, it's a reduction of raw materials. That is one motivation of our users. At the same time, the quality of the spraying process can be optimized. Yeah? Was this at least a part of your questions that I answered?
Well, to some extent, but you know, I was just trying to understand what exactly in the end your offering will include. Is your focus really on the technology, or go ahead?
Also, we propose, of course, a system solution, yeah, because we know that there are no terahertz experts in the field, and that the industry, automotive, aerospace, plastics industry, expects a complete solution, which is alone standing, yeah, and which does not need necessarily an operator. So it's a system solution that can be integrated also to the manufacturing execution system of the factory. And we see there are a lot of synergies with existing and future products of Hexagon.
I'll ask my question very quickly. I guess there must be other players who do terahertz. Why are you better than them, and why are you different, especially based on your patent?
Yes. First, there are approaches that do not use pulse terahertz. These approaches do not have approach to the thickness or to the depth of an object. So there's no 3D information if you do not do a tomographic scanning. Then there are the traditional pulse terahertz approaches, And these are used in hundreds of scientific laboratories and now also more and more industrial laboratories, and on some extent to punctiform measurement inline, but without the capacity to do imaging, because our approach is 10 million times faster than this pulsed approach. And we can do very rapid imaging also on moving parts. Sorry.
Thank you, Uli. Sorry to break it out, but you all get the same amount of time, and a really good pitch there. And thank you for sharing the Teratonic story, and also thank you to our judges. Next up, we move to 3D. With its Instant 3D Hub, 3D offers a unique infrastructure component that allows companies to meet the constantly growing demand for highly available 3D data in responsive and interactive applications. Coming to us from Darmstadt, Germany, please welcome its Vice President of Sales, Stefan Domde. Stefan, welcome to 6th Sense.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much for having me. So actually what we are talking about is the simplified usage of industrial 3D data. And if you have the chance, please have your mobile device at hand because you will need it later in the presentation. So actually, I think everybody knows that industrial companies are challenged with the way to bring 3D data and respective 3D data apps throughout the entire value chain to the respective use cases. What they do currently is they build own data pipelines per use case. What we are doing is we are virtualizing data without the need to upload them to a specific platform or a specific format, so that customers then respect the single source of truth of their data without the need of preparing specific data formats, etc. And to experience this, you can directly actually scan this QR code with your mobile device, and you will be able to see right away one of our 3D spaces, how we call it. This is a native CATIA file streamed directly from our servers here in Darmstadt to collaborate instantly with your colleagues. So customers around the world from the automotive industry like Mercedes, BMW, or Porsche use it already on a daily basis, with thousands of users and constructing and technicians on a day-to-day basis. The beauty about this is our technology does not need GPU power, so it's also very cost efficient when it comes to scalable use cases as well. Thank you.
There you go, Stefan. Thank you very much. Great pitch, very interesting company. Daniela and Jason are going to ask you a few questions.
Thank you, Stefan. Very, very interesting. And there's certainly a compelling use case for making data more available and distributed to support collaboration. Could you tell us a bit about the integration requirements with other enterprise solutions, and how reliant is the deployment of 3D on this integration or on being partnered with those types of solutions?
Okay, yeah, very good question. Actually, what customers do is, or what the technology needs is just an addressable data file. So it means there's no need of having a real integration. We just need an addressable data file, and it doesn't matter whether it's a 3D file or something from an ERP system or even IoT data. And from the other point of view, the system is mainly operated on the either private or public cloud of a client. So it is also scalable and managed directly within the client infrastructure, hence using resources already available.
You hinted upon the scalability of your solution. So how well does it scale if it is a global company with different sites across continents?
This is how our customers and clients use it already. Something like BMW, for instance, is using it for their engineering collaboration and review processes, and they are using it on multiple sites, either in Europe or in the US, with more than 2,000 technicians on the technology on a day-to-day basis.
Is there is there an additional effort to set it up per site?
No, actually not. The system itself is cloud native, and we are using Docker and Kubernetes to auto-scale the system depending on the overall effort which is needed to provide the solution.
Okay, thank you.
So in terms of the business model then, is it mainly white label type customers that you're going after, or do you go direct to end users, and how do you see the market opportunity adopting 3D?
Yeah, actually the system, as I mentioned before, is completely operated within the IT infrastructure of our clients. So we are not operating the system. We are directly integrated in the IT infrastructure, but it is not communicating with our technology or with our offices. So, and on that side, of course, it has the possibility to be also rolled out potentially as a visual computing as a service technology, which we are currently developing to bring it even to a broader space and integrate it much, much easier into other systems. But our clients right now demand it actually on-premise or on their private cloud at the moment.
Okay, great.
Well, if we've got a second left, what were you going to show us on our mobile phones?
Sorry, again?
You said we should have our mobile. You said we should have our mobile phones to hand, Stefan. What were you going to? What were you going to show us? But you've only got
this is actually. I think you missed the QR code in my presentation. Yeah, you have it right.
Okay.
You haven't seen
right.
it.
There you go.
You see
I'm
actually,
sure
yeah, you see the motorcycle.
Got it.
And if you would have had more time, you would be able to collaborate on it and work together on it, and even jump into AR. Yeah.
And we're not gonna accept that this is an attempt to influence the judges by flipping them more information during your pitch. I mean, absolutely excellent. Thank you very much. Good luck with 3D, and thank you to our judges there. Thanks, Stefan. Right, we're going to move right on to IQ3 Connect, which helps industrial and manufacturing enterprises upskill and train their workforce by enabling them to cost-effectively operationalize AR and VR training and collaboration at scale. Telling us about this, please welcome its Director of Immersive Realities, Colin Bloor. Colin, welcome to 6 Sense.
Hi, thanks. I'm Colin Bloor, responsible for product and customer success here at IQ3 Connect. We help industrial and manufacturing companies upskill and retain their workforce by enabling them to efficiently operationalize their 3D digital assets for mixed reality-based collaboration and training at scale. Enterprises are facing skill shortages and high workforce turnover rates, inhibiting productivity and competitiveness. The digital transformation must be leveraged to meet the needs of tomorrow's workforce. The challenge is that manufacturing collaboration and training require a scalable approach to utilizing high-fidelity 3D virtual content. Web conferencing and slide decks are inherently limited, and traditional mixed reality tools can't scale. IQ3 is addressing the challenge through our enterprise-focused end-to-end platform, empowering anyone to easily create, deploy, and access immersive virtual content using only a web browser on any AR, VR, or 2D device. Our secure web-based workspaces and enterprise-focused dashboard enable instant training and collaboration, integrate into existing business processes, and seamlessly connect our customers to their digital thread of data. Our unique technology stack optimizes on-device performance, expanding the practical usability of mixed reality applications for enterprises. We are solving key operational pain points for our customers today, from critical safety and product knowledge training to assembly and maintenance work instructions, from design and manufacturing collaboration to sales enablement. We believe the Hexagon 6 Sense open innovation platform will accelerate IQ3's product market fit to scale our business faster and create joint market opportunities for Hexagon and IQ3.
There you have
Thank
it.
you.
Well done. You got it all in there, Colin. It was a sprint to the end, but you did finally get your pitch done. Well done. I'm going to take a breath. We're going to bring on Carolina and Stephen, who are going to put you through your paces on the Q&A.
Sounds good.
So thank you very much for the pitch. Very exciting and very energetic, although it's very early for you as far as I recall. I would like to know what are the most successful use cases and under which conditions? So when it starts to scale up, when it starts to to get starts to make sense from, let's say, from the business perspective.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing, ROI right from the get-go out of the box. But when it starts to scale, what we're seeing a lot with our customers is a, one-to-many type training application where one instructor can virtually lead many trainees around a virtual training scenario on their, CAD data, for example.
So I guess that makes sense, Colin. But for those kind of training scenarios, I mean, we often use PowerPoint. Are there specific use cases where it makes more sense using the mixed reality?
To dig into some of the specific use cases for training, we're seeing a lot of kind of product-centric training with where the 3D model is very important for looking at assembly or maintenance work instructions, where you need to really understand the spatial dimensions of the object or process. We're also seeing a lot of health and safety training as well on like a virtual factory floor, for example. So having trainees walk through a virtual representation of the facility to identify potential safety hazards. And then we're also seeing this in general collaboration between design and manufacturing, so that the manufacturing team can communicate earlier on in the design process with the designers to understand the design intent, what changes might need to be made for manufacturing, et cetera.
So I'm trying to imagine the scenario of a trainer and a bunch of trainees, the one-to-many you describe, all wearing virtual reality headsets. I mean, how do your users feel about that? Does that actually work?
Well, good question. So yeah, it does work with everybody in VR. Obviously, right now, not everybody has a VR headset, and we are completely device agnostic. So oftentimes the trainer will be in VR. Maybe a couple of the trainees will have like a VR headset, but a majority of the users are still actually using our platform on 2D. And on like, say, their laptop or a tablet device. They're getting a lot of value out of just being in this 3D immersive environment, even though they're only participating, through a browser on a laptop.
Okay. And then
How do you account?
Go ahead, Caroline.
I wanted to ask, is there a place for unexpected? Like when I think about the product trainings, especially some of our product trainings, and especially in the service or support, let's say, context, there is more important is the unexpected than expected part.
Yeah, I think real quick, I know I'm out of time. One of the most funny things I think I've heard is that there was a design team in India that didn't quite understand the scale of these machines that they were building. And so by getting into virtual reality, they're able to see how large this device actually is in the environment. And that meant a lot, and they could make smarter design decisions.
Thank you, Colin. I wish we got more time. And I think, Stephen, maybe you've given us an idea for next year. Maybe we should have VR judging. Maybe we should meet you in virtual reality. Think about that for a next step innovation. But Colin, thank you so much for telling us the story of IQ3 Connect, and to the judges for such great questions. Now, a quick reminder that you can continue voting for your favorites using the polling tab, because we've got just 3 companies left to hear from now. And now we're going to hear from GelSight, a pioneer in digital image-based tactile intelligence. Looking forward to hearing about that. The proprietary technology was invented at the world-famous Massachusetts Institute of Technology, or MIT, which provides extremely detailed and rapid surface characterization, enabling several surface measurement applications and robotic sensing capabilities. To tell us more, please welcome its CEO, Yusuf Ben Mukhtar. Yusuf, welcome to Sixth Sense.
Thank you. Yusuf Ben Mukhtar, CEO of GelSight. Inspection metrology is still largely living in the analog world, far from the requirements of the factory of the future. And when vision-based systems are used, they struggle with certain materials like glass and metals, and we need well-controlled lighting. GelSight's digital imaging-based tactile sensing replaces human-based inspection with a digital, accurate, repeatable way of measuring or dispositioning parts. And by leveraging machine vision and AI, we constantly improve our offering without the need to upgrade the hardware. GelSight brings a full metrology lab to the palm of your hand, augmenting inspectors' capabilities or allowing for full robotic and automation integration. Our customers have been able to reduce their error rate by 20 to 30%, reduce the cost per measurement up to 10-fold, and saved countless hours by avoiding to go to a lab for defect measurements. We're currently successful selling in aerospace and automotive, where our customers purchase our hardware, gel consumable, and our software with an annual maintenance package. So why GelSight and Hexagon? Well, GelSight brings new inspection capabilities to the Hexagon ecosystem that can also complement or replace vision-based systems. We believe our tactile intelligence platform could solve Hexagon's customers' problems and would bring a new stream of software-enabled revenues when integrated into Hexagon's own solutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Yusuf. Really great pitch, and it's a pleasure to welcome back Arno and Dheeraj, who are going to ask you your questions.
Happy to start again. Thanks for the pitch. I think what you present is pretty unique in terms of, obviously pretty unique in terms of how 3D is reconstructed. It's a tactile method, very different from anything else. Again, how do you see yourself? Is it that you consider yourself just becoming a technology provider? Is it more about delivering also this technology to customers? So hence building solutions. What is your role looking forward 5 years from now, maybe?
Yeah. So, I mean, currently we are providing a full solution. When customers buy our products, they actually get to use them within a few hours of training. And if they go and they use them daily, integrated into the manufacturing systems of large companies so that our products can be more broadly used directly by inspectors or mounted into robotic arms or automated arms instead of what we see today, which is mainly being used by quality engineers and process control engineers.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Quickly, I think the gel is pretty central to your measurement process, right? So why does including the gel make it any better than the traditional tactile measurement approaches, for instance?
Well, basically, you should think about our gel as an artificial skin. We're basically mimicking how human touch actually works by using an imaging-based method that is able to, through photometric 3D stereo, reconstruct the deformation of that gel on any surface. The main advantage that we have is we get basically sub-micron accuracy on the textures that we analyze, especially in Z, and maybe 4 to 7 microns in XY. So we're a lot more accurate than other tactile methods, which might give you touch location, sometimes a little bit of force estimation, but not a detailed understanding of textures.
And the gel is part of the probe itself, so you sort of inject it, right? Is that how it works?
It's a consumable. So think about we have like the inkjet method. We sell the hardware and the gel as a consumable. It has many hundreds of use cases depending on the application, sometimes in the tens of thousands or 20,000 in the case of robotics. So it's a replaceable consumable depending on the application.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Have you seen any adoption challenges over time? I've realized that the original papers have been presented even at CCRAF at some point, at least some of the technology papers.
Quick answer there, Yusuf, please. Yeah. Sorry, we're right out of time. Very quick answer.
We are deployed in many industries way beyond POCs. So we have ongoing revenues on a yearly basis.
Well, there you have it. You've given our judges lots to think about there, Yusuf. Thanks for sharing the story of GelSight, and thanks to our judges for such great questions. Right, we move on. Augmentia claims to be the world's only smart connected worker solution. Augmentia's software is a complete suite of AI-powered connected worker tools that help industrial companies digitally transform frontline work to achieve production goals in today's era of workforce disruption. To tell us more, it's a great pleasure to welcome its CEO, Russ Fadel. Russ, welcome to 6 Cents. The floor is all yours. We've got Russ on mute. I think we've got Russ on mute. Let's restart, please. Give him this. Let's restart him. Can we get him? Russ, can you hear us? Russ, we can't hear you, unfortunately. I wonder whether what we do. Just going to ask my colleagues whether we can actually get your sound up. Just want to make sure you are off mute. No, I am very sorry to tell you. We're just going to do I'm going to now tell you, this is what they call padding, ladies and gentlemen and friends. It's a way of actually, now can we hear you there? No, we still haven't got you, I'm afraid. I'm going to ask my colleagues just to give you one more minute. Well, I can tell you, I'm greatly enjoying the pictures this afternoon, because if you're looking at the shape of things to come, if you're looking at tomorrow's economy, yes, we can hear you. And we've just saved, Russ, we've just saved off our audience from an impromptu lecture on the next chapter for the Industrial Revolution. But instead, we're going to hear all about your wonderful business Augmenteer. So we're going to restart the clock and we're going to let you pitch your business. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm the CEO of Augmenteer. I'll do a little recap of what we do. We build a connected worker platform that lets you digitize all frontline work processes. And we use AI to provide individualized guidance to frontline workers to mitigate the problems that are created by the workforce variability. Where the product fits, most people are familiar with this technology stack in manufacturing. That's MES, automation, and data collection. The key thing in that stack is it's been able to provide manufacturers the ability to do AI-based process and machine optimization on automated processes. The connected worker stack, the 2.0 stack, is really the digital twin of MES. It's a first-class citizen where it provides the same level of services, but around human-centered processes. So using AI to help optimize those types of processes and also to help give insights into your workforce to optimize them. We sell into manufacturing process, utilities, and energy. We sell into both the mid-market and the large enterprise market. Example lists of our customers are here with the numbers shown on top, but our deal sizes in the last 12 months go from 20K ARR to 500K, and total contract value is over $1 million. And happy to be speaking with Hexagon and 6 Sense today. Thank you.
Thank you, Russ. And I think that you coped there with the industrial action by the microphones that were sort of there to sort of try and trip you up, but they didn't trip you up at all because you got your pitch out there. And Danny and Jason are now going to ask you a few questions.
Thanks, Russ. Thanks for the pitch. So, Russ, if you subscribe to Gartner's analysis, their hype cycle for smart manufacturing puts connected worker applications at sort of the peak of inflated expectations and on the way towards the slope of enlightenment, as they call it. So the time to productivity or maturity in the market is around 5 years. Do you see for Augmenteer that horizon is much earlier, and specifically for the manufacturing industries? How do you see that horizon for adoption?
Yeah, great question. First, we were selected by Gartner as one full vendor in manufacturing operations this year. So we thank them for that. I think that the original connected worker market, which started out in 2010 and 12, really fell into the trough of disillusionment. With us, what we're seeing today is two things. One is the workforce disruption is really requiring manufacturers to make investments to mitigate these challenges. And so that's providing an accelerator into the connected worker space. And two, what we do with AI, which provides insights into both process and people, the insights into people's will allow them to get their workers to the floor faster and productive more quickly. And so we see our time to getting into mainstream as being much closer than that.
Yeah, talking about your customers, you showed in your slide a few logos, most of them, of course, big names. What kind of customer segment are you addressing with that? I mean, if I just have a team of 3 people, it doesn't make too much sense, right, to use your solution. But at what level does it make sense? Yeah, so what's your customer segment?
Yeah, so we sell into mid-market and large enterprise. Our smallest customers are in the 20 million in revenue. That's probably a little small for what we consider a target customer. But 50 million and up, we had a free trial approach for product-led growth, but we took that out because when the pandemic hit, small companies were not in the buying market for innovation. So again, we're like mid-market. I would say 250 million up is our spot, but we do sell down below that.
Okay, thank you. Then quick final question. What about competition in your area?
Yeah, It's pretty limited. Most of the older players really only digitize work, and that's kind of a small value prop. So there's a couple players who do what we do, which is skills through work. Again, we're the only one that uses AI really to provide the insights to help companies improve both their people and their processes.
Great. Thank you very much there, Russ. Thanks for sharing the story of Augmenteer, and also to our judges for asking the questions. Now we're going to move on. Have we saved the best till last? Well, we're going to find out, because it's my pleasure now to welcome our final pitch today, to welcome Retrocausal. It's a company that delivers a software platform that uses cameras and computer vision to help manufacturing assembly operators avoid mistakes, engineers continuously improve processes, and operations managers track production. To give us our final pitch, it's a great pleasure to welcome the CEO and co-founder, Zishan Zia. Zishan, welcome to Sixth Sense. The floor is all yours.
Hi, thanks. I'm Zishan. I'm the CEO of Retrocausal. We are a software company based out of Seattle, Washington. And we build a software platform that uses cameras and computer vision to understand every individual step of a manufacturing assembly process. And we use that capability to help operators avoid assembly mistakes, bringing down scrap costs and rework costs by up to 80%. We provide time and motion studies and video traceability to engineers to help them balance lines, to help them perform root cause analysis faster, and help them identify non-value added work. And we provide a smartphone app that plugs into our platform to help production managers track production. As compared to traditional solutions, you can deploy our solution 50 times faster. It costs 150 times less and is applicable to 10x more wider variety of assembly processes. Our customers include Honda, Stellantis, Boston Scientific, Stryker, and Alliance Laundry Systems, amongst others, deployed customers. So the largest auto manufacturers, the largest medical device manufacturers, and appliances manufacturers. And in their evaluation, we came out ahead of all of our competition. Thank you.
Zishan, thank you very much. Great pleasure to welcome back our judges for the final judging of this afternoon, Carolina and Stephen, who are going to ask you a few questions.
Hey, thanks a lot, Zishan. I was fascinated by that statistics, 50 times faster deployment. I wonder if you could give us an idea of what it takes to deploy your solution, and what are you 50 times faster than? Why are you 50 times faster?
Yeah. So typically, if you go to manufacturers, often they'll have internal instrumentation teams, quality teams, and they'll fabricate these workstations, connect them to PLCs. They'll have these LED devices. Your hand passes through a bin, it detects it. Those kinds of systems take 6 to 18 months to deploy. In contrast, you can deploy us in less than a day, typically. What it takes to deploy is you specify the standard operating procedure, or if you've already integrated with your MES system, we pull that data in. You record a few shifts of the assembly process. Just leave it to record. You don't have to be there. You label one cycle of your assembly process, press a button, and boom, you're basically able to deploy it. So that's all it takes. Again, you are able to do it entirely on your own. We don't have to. We are not a services company. We don't have to customize anything for any individual process. But basically, it's as simple as that. It's very self-serve.
That's great. Thanks.
That's very interesting. I would like to ask the follow-up question to what Steve asked. How do you account for, like people have different kinematics of their own motion, their own ways of doing things. I'm left-handed, so if you record it on 5 shifts, how does it account for my left-handed,
Of course. Yeah, so absolutely. So there are two pieces to it. One piece is that we generate a lot of synthetic training data. You have seen these kinds of generative, video and image generation tools recently, I'm sure. We built some of those tools in our research, in my PhD, in my colleagues' PhD, co-founders' PhD. We were the first ones to develop some of those ideas. That's one piece of it. And then secondly, we are not just trying to track human body postures. We understand human body, we understand the objects that the human interacts with, the tools that the human interacts with. Completely autonomously, we are able to discover objects in these training videos that you provide, and that's why the system is able to generalize across all of those, a fair bit of those variations. There will still be some variation. If you don't have a standard process, we will get stuck. But for most standardized processes, for most big manufacturers, we work just fine.
That's great. Do you think, can the AI do more? Do you think you can make recommendations to improve processes, that kind of thing?
Yes, we have patents around that. We are already incorporating some of those capabilities in there. And we have a partnership with Siemens Process Simulate, where we are even able to simulate counterfactuals in a physics and discrete event simulation engine. So absolutely.
That's great.
That's where
Thank you very much. Thank you, Zishan. Sorry to interrupt you, but alas, time is against us. The clock has struck its final tick for this afternoon's pitches. So thank you to Zishan and the retrocausal story, and indeed to our judges there, and indeed to all of the startups who have delivered such an incredible collection of pitches this afternoon. I hope you've been inspired. I certainly have, because you can do something I can't, because it's time for your vote. You've got just 60 seconds left now to make your views count. You can click on the polling tab on your screen to continue voting. I'm going to give you a quick reminder of the companies we've heard from, 12 of those. We're going to be sending through 8, 7 will be chosen by the judges, 1 by you with your vote. As soon as I've read them out, the 60-second countdown will begin. So 1, 3 your mind. We then heard from Arundo Analytics, Castor, Gemineers, JitBase, Oculavis, Teratonics, 3D, IQ3 Connect, GelSight, Augmenteer, and then finally Retrocausal. 12 incredible companies, 60 seconds to cast your vote. Let's get that clock going. Boom. That's it. Voting is now closed for the audience choice of this second 6th Sense selection day. And I'm sure you will have chosen a very special and worthwhile company to join this incredible process. Now, we've got around about 9 minutes to allow our judges to deliberate on their winners. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be hearing who is going through to the next 6th Sense cohort. They're going to be pitching their concepts in greater detail at the demo day that we heard about a little bit earlier, taking place in early February 2023. To give you a sense of that, we're going to show you the demo day for the first cohort, which took place in May of this year in London, so we can show you what they can expect. And then about 5 minutes after that, we'll be back with the judges to actually welcome our finalists for today. So let's show the demo day video now. Thank you.
Demo Day is an important step because it's a final element of their journey with Hexagon for the last few weeks. And they're here to demonstrate what is the fit with Hexagon, what is their fit, how they're planning to scale their business so that we can now carry the journey further
past 6 Cents?
The startups felt that they are part of the Hexagon team, and I think and vice versa. We have been sharing a lot, we have been learning a lot. I am really super excited, very, very happy with what we have been achieving, and we saw actually a very nice progression week after week, and this is just the start of, I am pretty sure, a long and exciting journey with these startups.
If anybody's got a chance to get into this program, I think they should take advantage of it. The people have been great, the guidance has been very helpful. I've spent a lot of time doing these types of activities. I've learned quite a bit, even based on my experience from the teams we've been able to interact with. So, great program.
Very good experience. I'm learning a lot of things about how can we present the company, pitch the company to investors and things like that. For me, it's first time that I'm pitching to investors, and it's very, very richness.
Right from the beginning, there was a very, very strong focus on building a network, so between the different startups, but also in between Hexagon, and this is something that was of high value for us as IconPro.
Yeah, I would definitely advise other startups to apply for 6 Cents. Again, it's been a wonderful process. We've gotten great feedback, great support. I think we've learned a lot about our company and our own business and how to message it better. So it's been a tremendous opportunity, I think.
I would say that the biggest difference is how the team members of Hexagon 6 Cents have been super accessible and, I mean, willing to help, very close to us, hearing us, listening to what we were demanding. So I'm pretty happy with that. It's not, we are not just a kind of number. We are just a company helping, very nice contacts and interactions. So.
Honestly, it's been incredible. The support by Hexagon has been incredible. From senior management to the resources given to us, we're really able to pull something off, which is special.
Yeah, we just got announced co-winners of the first cohort of the 6 Cents program, so we're just really honored to be part of the program. It's been a great experience. We intend to continue the relationship with Hexagon, and hopefully that'll allow us to scale, get in front of new customers, and just grow the business. Honestly, I'm just excited to get back to work.
It's been a fantastic day. The startups have been utterly brilliant. I think Hexagon has learned as much from this process already as hopefully the startups have. It's the beginning of the journey. I like to say it's the end of the beginning. Let's say where we can take this going forward.
I think we can also move 6 Cents to become not only impactful within discrete manufacturing, which is roughly 40% of what Hexagon does, but we probably would want, if not the next cohort, maybe next year, 6 Cents embraced by a multiplicity of partners. So there's no reason why this should be Hexagon only. We would love to work with customers, partners, to really scale up the impact that we can have, both in recruiting and in supporting these companies being successful.
welcome back. Thank you so much for bearing with us. As you can probably imagine, no easy task that, sorting out a sense of views from the judges on such a brilliantly competitive set of pitches. Well, it's a great pleasure to welcome you back to this final session for the Sixth Sense Selection Day, where we're going to find out now who our winners are, because our judges have been in deep conversation. I've been reliably informed that we do have progress to announce. So I'd like to welcome back Milan, who's going to reveal the information that we're all waiting for. Milan, welcome back.
Thank you. You guys can't see the bruises. You know, it was virtual fighting as to who should be the final 8. But I am happy to announce as to who the 8 coming to the cohort will be. So first, we'll go with the people's choice. So thanks to about 100 and something people who voted on the actual platform. And the winner of the people's choice is Caster 3D, which is also was on our judges list at the same time. So they won 2 things. One is the people's choice and one is from the judges. The other 7 companies coming through are 3D, Oculavis, 3Your Mind, GelSight, Augmenteer, Teratonics, and JitBase. Unfortunately, as we already said at the beginning, we couldn't take all 12. So for the 4 that did not make it, you guys know who we are. We'll obviously keep talking about different opportunities. But for the 8 that did make it, just get ready. Your Outlook is going to get populated with a lot of meeting requests for the next 10 weeks. And we hope that we can build some really cool stuff together. So congratulations to everybody for the 8. Thank you, everybody. And then, as I said, you'll get to know us really, really well. So just giving you a heads up. So back to Michael.
Well, what a great group of companies. And indeed, we'll be meeting them again in February when we get to the demo day. And of course, a big part of the demo day is to show the progress and show the journey that that the companies have been on. So today is a very, very important step in that direction. Thank you, Milan, and the judges for all of your work today. Well done to the companies going through. Commiserations to those who didn't make it this time. Keep on going. That's I think is the entrepreneurial message. It's been a very tough decision for our judges today, and I think that you could quite easily have seen all those businesses go through in another year. But anyway, we're going to be keeping the community updated on how the cohort are getting on across the Sixth Sense website and social media. So do follow on Twitter at @mi_6_sense and also the Sixth Sense page on LinkedIn. All that is left for me to say is thank you on behalf of Hexagon MI's Sixth Sense to all those inspiring startup founders, to our brilliant panel of judges, and to all of you who have been watching it from wherever in the world you've been today. We'll see you at Demo Day. Thank you very much and goodbye.